Ladies and gentlemen, it's an issue which affects you and I. The spot airfares continue to trend higher on several routes across India as the domestic civil aviation industry struggles to fill a capacity void caused by the suspension of Go First flights more than a month ago. This has given wings to a political showdown with the Congress slamming the centre, left, right and centre for skyrocketing airfares. Congress has claimed that the government's complete free pass to the airlines is creating havoc among the middle class. The aviation minister has emphasized that airport operations are the responsibility of private operators and the airlines have been asked to self-regulate their prices, which has resulted in a 14 to 60% reduction. But let's have a look at what the passengers feel.
नहीं नेचुरली फ़र्क पड़ता है मीडियम क्लास को या फिर आम आदमी को तो फ़र्क पड़ता ही है हाई फेयर से। ये कि पीक टाइम पे अगर आपने एक दिन पहले जाना हो तो काफ़ी ऊंचे प्राइसेस होते हैं।
कितना होता है आजकल?
मे बी 8,000 to 9,000।
मैं तो थोड़ा इमरजेंसी में आया इसलिए 11,000 का दे गया।
11,000 हैदराबाद से यहाँ तक 11,000 देना पड़ा।
जम्मू
मतलब वैसे कितना टिकट है नॉर्मली?
नॉर्मल भी यही फेयर है।
हाँ।
अगर बंदा 3-4 दिन पहले करवाए टिकट जैसे
तो फ़र्क पड़ता है।
हाँ, थोड़ा दिन पहले करवा ले। एक्चुअल में मैं थोड़ा आर्मी में हूँ तो इसलिए हमें क्या होता है कि थोड़ा एट अ टाइम मतलब पता चलता है कि कल जाना परसों जाना, तो इसलिए थोड़ा
बहुत ज़्यादा मुश्किल हो रहा है। इतना किराया बढ़ गया हुआ है। कल मेरा बेटा दिल्ली से है, कितना किराया बढ़ा हुआ है क्या बताऊँ आपको। पहले 3500 था, 3,000 था, अब 5500, 10,000 रुपये, 9,000 रुपये किराया था। बहुत मुश्किल आ रहा है, बहुत मुश्किल आ रहा है। हमारे एयरपोर्ट की मुश्किल आ रहा है, हम रोड पे खड़े हैं।
Post-lockdown, airfares have spiked a lot. Like, I remember going to Airline lockdown and the tickets were pretty damn cheap. But like right now when I booked my tickets for Mumbai, I had to like check which price would be the cheapest, and then I got some room discounts. So what I generally do is I book my tickets like around a month prior, so that gets some cheaper tickets. But otherwise, like if I book it just right now, it will be like 8K, 7K, 10K, something like that.
It is very difficult for students like me, which come from international. Then they find here very difficult prices of domestic flights.
By bus or train?
Yeah, this time I will maybe sleeper bus. Yeah, bus. Due to main reason is due to increase this airfare.
डेफिनेटली बहुत ज़्यादा हो गया, डबल से ज़्यादा ट्रिपल हो गया है। अभी मैं इंडिगो की एयरलाइन से आई थी दिल्ली टू भोपाल।
ओके।
और उसका मुझे टिकट 11,500 समथिंग पड़ा था, जो कि नॉर्मली 3 या 4,000 में हो जाता है। तो दैट वॉज रियली शॉकिंग। और डे बाई डे बढ़ रहा है, तो फेयर है थोड़ा सा कम होना चाहिए, सो दैट मोर एंड मोर पीपल कैन ट्रैवल बाय एयर।
लगा तो नहीं, मेरे को डबल किराया हो गया।
ओके।
सर्विस अच्छी मिलती है और ये इम्पोर्टेंट है। आप पैसा लीजिए और उसके साथ सर्विस भी दीजिए।
So you heard what the common man has to say. Definitely a lot of people there, we've just heard, they're saying they're feeling the pinch. Are you also traveling in the same boat? Are you also feeling the pinch of rising air prices? Or do you also think the government has done enough? Are you satisfied with the kind of response that has come in from the Union Civil Aviation Minister? Well, we'll talk about that. You can also call us on the numbers given on your TV screens. What you think about this issue? We are also being joined by experts on the panel here. Mr. Chandrasekhar Nene, aviation expert, joining us on the broadcast. Mr. Sarosh Damania, aviation lawyer, also joining us on the broadcast here. Thank you so much to you both for joining us here on Times Now. Okay. My first question would be to Mr. Chandrasekhar Nene. So what do you think? Yes. You know, the airfares are increasing. You've just heard people there. We've just been playing out their reactions, how they're feeling the pinch of rising air prices. We do understand there are a combination of factors which is responsible for it. But what, in your opinion, is leading to rising air prices?
There are two issues here. It is a demand and supply issue. Suddenly, at this time, I am being from the airline field. This is the vacation time, and demand always goes very high. But what happened, unfortunately, with the Go First closing down on the 3rd of May, and actually they started closing operations from April onwards, the supply side has reduced, which actually created a shortage of seats. That is point one. Point two is that the people wanted to go at the last moment. In airline, there are algorithms already in place that if you want to book spot tickets, they are always more expensive. So spot ticket people who travel at the last notice or something like that, they always pay more. This time also they are paying more. In fact, if you see, the rise in fare has been actually on those sectors where Go First used to fly. About 35 to 40% rise in fare has happened. Now, in answer to that, we heard the press conference of Mr. Jyotirajitya Scindia, the Honorable Minister of Civil Aviation.
Yes.
He has requested the airlines not to fleece the passengers in a free market society, which is what the airline market is, sort of putting a hammer down the airline. This is what the government can do at the beginning. They can request the airlines not to increase the fares exorbitantly, but to have a humane approach. More than that, at this juncture, if the government tries to put on some kind of ordinance, that's not the way the open market works actually. And Mr.
Absolutely, sir. Just requesting the airlines, would it serve the purpose, sir?
It will serve the purpose. You know what is going to happen? Come 2 days, the vacations are going to be over. Once the vacations are over, the demand will suddenly fall down. People will not be traveling as much. This year, 1.3 crore domestic passengers have traveled. It's a huge number. And that will suddenly come down. And we will see that the price rise, as it has happened, it will start coming down. This is a bubble because of the very heavy demand.
All right. All right, sir, I'll come back to you. Mr. Damania, do you also agree with the viewpoint that Mr. Nene is presenting here, that it's mainly because of the last-minute bookings that the prices are rising? Or is there something more that the government could have done?
See, one of the factors, of course, is there that due to the vacation time or summer season, but that is every year. It is nothing new that it is the first time. But the prices, what we are seeing today, 20,000, 30,000, about such prices have never been seen before on a domestic sector, say Bombay, Delhi. And as far as number of flights are concerned, there are ample flights. Now, the slots of Go Air have been taken over by other airlines. So the DGC has allotted them additional slots. So they are flying additional aircrafts on those routes also. So, of course, this is one way. Of course, one thing is there, airlines have the right to earn profit. It is a free market, but the passenger should not be exploited to such a limit that he has no other choice. Now, today what is happening is Aviation Ministry is there for the welfare of the passengers. That is specifically why government has created an aviation industry and an aviation ministry to regulate the industry. So if the ministry is supposed to regulate and if the ministry is for the benefit of the public at large, that is the passengers, they should do something more than just saying, please control yourself, please do not exploit the passengers. There has to be a reasonable amount of airfares that has to be charged. You cannot exploit a passenger. Maybe somebody has to travel last minute. Now we saw the tragedy in Orissa. Passengers had to travel on urgent basis and they were exploited. If I had to go there for an emergency, my family member is stuck there, I had to travel. If I had to take a 30,000 ticket also, I would
Absolutely, I have the data with me, sir. Absolutely. After the Odisha train tragedy, the prices which were on June 4th, Chennai to Bhubaneswar flight, which would cost 9,000 rupees, is now at more than 10,000, 11,000 I would say. And the maximum price was 62,987 earlier. It's much more now. It's closer to 80,000. Definitely, a lot of people here on social media also are complaining about that. I'll come back to you, sir. Meanwhile, we are also learning a political war of words is also broken out over this issue. The Congress has said that the government has done nothing to cap the hyper-inflated airfares. We have reactions coming in. Let's take a look.
हवाई चप्पल वाले भी हवाई जहाज पर चलेंगे. The Prime Minister of this country should answer that those wearing हवाई चप्पल can also travel in air. He should answer. They are looting, exploiting. So what Prime Minister says that opportunity in a crisis. So they, when Balasore incident happened, was that occasion to exploit the passengers? Government must step in it and find that what is happening. This is the economic crime.
Well, I saw the statement of a civil aviation ministry. He should know that the man who said that people who wear Hawaii chappal should be in the Hawaii, and now they are making it costlier than ever. Airfares were not so costly as of now. They have hiked the prices only to benefit the airlines.
Well, the BJP has countered Congress's charges and has said that the picture on the ground is different.
देखिए, कांग्रेस का चरित्र है, हवाई जहाज में चलने वालों की चिंता कर रहे हैं, जो सड़कों पे चलते हैं उनकी चिंता नहीं करते, जो कहते हैं गरीबी हटाओ का नारा दे के आए, आज तक गरीब हटाने का काम नहीं किया, जो मोदी जी ने आज 9 वर्षों के अंदर किया है। और जहां तक हवाई जहाज फेयर की बात है, और इतनी सारी सुविधाएं वहां पर मिल रही हैं, आज देखिएगा बस स्टैंड की तरह और रेलवे स्टेशन की तरह एयरपोर्ट दिखाई देते हैं। मैं कहा जितना विकास भारतीय जनता पार्टी के शासन के अंदर एयरपोर्टों का हुआ है और यातायात का हुआ है, इनके समय पे कुछ भी नहीं हुआ। लेकिन खिस्सानी बिल्ली खंबा नोचे वाली बात है, कुछ कह नहीं सकते तो कुछ तो कहना ही है।
Let me now go back to the guest of the panel, Mr. Nene. Do you think, is it just, yes, this is, well, of course, we've seen politics playing out on the matter, but do you think, the situation on the ground could have been different? Is it justified, the situation that is prevailing at the moment? What the efforts the government is undertaking at the moment, are they sufficient?
There are two issues here. During the Balasore incident, government has already issued an advisory on price control for the Balasore sector, for the Odisha sector.
Right.
That government already did. Nobody is mentioning that. And second bit is that in an election year, everything goes for politicking. The Hawaii Chappal thing which people are saying, nobody said that the person wearing Hawaii Chappal should also get fare on the spot booking. That is not the point here. You see, the number of passengers which has grown to 1.2 crores is actually a very good sign that lots and lots of Indians are traveling by civil aviation. As I mentioned specifically, this is a particularly busy time, and sort of increasing the capacity, which is not possible. In an airline, you cannot suddenly add in airplanes. Given that there is another problem with the airline sector currently, that the ATF, the air traffic fuel, is actually increased almost 57% increase in 2020. So it is more expensive to run the airline. Nobody mentions that. Airlines are also going through a tough time. During the COVID segment, they actually felt they had a very big losses going on. And what happened, most of us stayed home. We used a lot of credit cards. The credit cards gave us a lot of points on airlines. So those people are also traveling. So that load also added on to airlines.
Okay.
And those people travel free of cost because it's a free travel. So all in all, it's an economic situation. It is very correct to politicize the situation. And as I said specifically, that given this few days, actually it is only a few days when the vacation period ends, you will suddenly find that the prices come back to normal. More than that, if the government is to tell airline that I am going to control your pricing, then later on airlines will demand a control pricing when the times are bad. They will tell government that to also control the best minimum pricing. It doesn't work in a free market.
Okay. All right. Let me take a reaction from Mr. Damania also. Mr. Damania, what would you say about that?
See, as far as the aviation ministry coming up now, it is just a reaction to the public uproar. There is media uproar, there is public uproar, people are raising their voices. It is a belated reaction just to calm the public down that we are doing something. They are taking meetings, giving assurances. It is just pacifying people. But there is no real action, or there is no real solution, or there is no real outcome in this matter which has come across. So, of course, we require some action or some part on the part of the ministry with respect to the airline. Maybe it may be advisory or anything. Nothing has come out in writing. It is just stating that we have told the airlines to do this. We have spoken to the airlines. If you have spoken to airlines, you come out with some pointers. Issue an advisory. Where is the written advisory regarding the prices? That has not yet come out. Still, every day things are being discussed. Meetings are being called. At least let an advisory at least come out to the airlines, so at least passengers or the public at large is aware that yes, the ministry has taken some steps.
Absolutely, point taken there. However, Union Minister Scindia has also, he's put it out on Twitter also, in writing here at least, that we've advised airlines to self-regulate their fares under a certain limit. And he said that the result of which is that prices have come down by 14 to 60% since 6 June 2023. But we understand your point, and definitely we are hoping for a strong reaction from the government and action also on the ground, as the experts on my panel here say. Thank you so much to Mr. Nene and Mr. Damania for sharing your views with us. Thank you so much. Meanwhile, CEO of TripSupplier.com says that 20 to 30% passengers have cancelled their plans due to skyrocketing prices. He has asserted that the airline escalate prices during summer holidays.
20 to 30% people already cancelled their travel plans. And in hotel inventory, we have acquired even before the season going unused. So the government should take note of it, serious note of it, because every year in this season, particularly in the summer holiday season, all airlines, somehow, create a syndicate and, and escalate the prices unreasonably. There should be set an example that it should not be repeated, every summer holiday season.
We have more reactions now coming in. Let's also listen into what passengers have to say about this.
डेफिनेटली बहुत ज़्यादा हो गया, डबल से ज़्यादा ट्रिपल हो गया है। अभी मैं इंडिगो की एयरलाइन से आई थी दिल्ली टू भोपाल, और उसका मुझे टिकट 11,500 समथिंग पड़ा था, जो कि नॉर्मली 3 या 4 हज़ार में हो जाता है। सो दैट वाज रियली शॉकिंग। और डे बाय डे बढ़ रहा है, तो फेयर है थोड़ा सा कम होना चाहिए, सो दैट मोर एंड मोर पीपल कैन ट्रैवल बाय एयर।
लगा तो नहीं, मेरे को डबल किराया हो गया। ओके, सर्विस अच्छी मिलती है और ये इम्पोर्टेंट है। आप पैसा लीजिए और उसके साथ सर्विस भी दीजिए।
Yes, quite difficult, but it's okay. It's like subtle. Everybody is preferring to flight, so that's why they are increasing the price.
Some of passengers are traveling for the cooperative purpose, so most of them are paying the companies for the tickets.
बजट में बहुत सारी प्रॉब्लम्स आती है। एक तो अभी क्या होता है कि ज़्यादातर लोग यहाँ पे बिजनेस पर्पस से आते हैं या फिर फ्रिक्वेंटली ट्रैवल्स करना होता है, तो ऑब्वियसली रेट से ज़्यादा फर्क पड़ता है बजट पे लोगों के जेब।
I think everything is increasing, so I think to match with the salaries of the staff and the maintenance and all that, I think it's quite inevitable that these prices are increasing.
आए दिन बढ़ना वो सबसे ज़्यादा एक प्रॉब्लमेटिक है मिडिल क्लास लोगों के लिए। तो यही मैं कहना चाहूँगी कि फेयर्स तो बढ़े हैं, उससे प्रॉब्लम्स भी हो रही है और मैनेजमेंट भी काफ़ी डगमगा गया है।
अनअफोर्डेबल हो गया ये जो एयर फेयर है। इसके लिए गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने अभी स्टेटमेंट किया, देखते हैं आगे। इंशाल्लाह उम्मीद है कि गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की जो टूरिज्म सिविलेशन मिनिस्ट्री है, उन्होंने स्टेटमेंट आया है, लग रहा है कि शायद वो ठीक हो जाएगा अब आगे आने वाले दिनों में।
Well, the passengers, the Janata says they are definitely hit hard by the surge in prices of airlines, airfares, and also they want the government to intervene as soon as possible and do something about the issue. With that, it's time for a short break here. More coming up on the other side.